Hello everyone, thank you for the time. Here I want to present a paper that describes how increase the company profit by reduction the production cost. This paper already implemented in the oil seal manufacturing in Batam. First, I want to introduce myself. I'm Edward Tobing. I'm a student of Magister Electronic in Atmajaya University. And I want to thank you for all my lecture in Atmajaya, especially Pak Marsul, that helped me to accomplish this paper for the international conference in Atmajaya. Okay, now we go to the next step. This paper will consist of the introduction that tell us about how exactly the production costs that can be reduced, in what kind of option that we can take, and the second, cost reduction theoretical, the third, scope of works, fourth, the reducing the production costs, fifth, calculation of the profit, and sixth, conclusion and remark. Okay, we'll go to the general step, how to decide the production reduction cost. Here we need to decide on the most strategically important part of the business that is needed for future growth and channel of cost reduction around it. The second, we must decide which will be retained or eliminated entire business or product lines. Third, we must conduct a throughput analysis of the remaining part of the business and tells management which is give profit or not making profit. And fourth, we need to know the step to see what the cost can be reduced through outsourcing. Okay. And we must know how to cut the material costs. In the production, material is one of the main elements that need to produce an item. So lower the material will increase the profit in the company. The second, we must to know how to gain control of inventory and purchase. Urgent purchase, that means higher the price. It's better for the company to stock the minimum stock, so can be pretend the minus of the stock, so production cannot wait and the production of item can be run smoothly. Third, optimize the employee performance. So we need to motivate the employee to give the company best performance, and we need to appraisal them their performance to make them more motivated. Four, automate the manual process. Nowadays in the manufacturing, the machine already modified from the manual process into the automation process. That will reduce some of the labor costs, that will be reduce the manpower that usually operate one manpower per machine, that will be decreased into the one manpower that can operate two machines. And the fifth, negotiate with the supplier. Usually the supplier can be give best price if we order a lot of quantity in one time. It can be lower the price rather than we buy such a small item in 1 month. Okay, next we go into the cost reduction theoretical. So here the first mindset is the 5S analysis. So we must know what is the 5S is. 5S meaning the Seiri, Seiton, Seiso, Shitsuke, Seiketsu in the Japanese mindset. These are very important of the production and for the company. so it can be increase the production capacity and production profit. Second thing is benchmarking. So for increasing our profit of the manufacturing, we must to know um, how another manufacturing run and getting a profit. So we need to learn from other manufacturing too. The third thing is break-even analysis. We must to analyze how to prevent any break, any downtime of the production. So can we achieve any target every day, every month. So if target achieved, that means the production will give the company best profit. For the tax sheet is very important both of the production and maintenance. Operator and maintenance usually check the production machine, the critical equipment machine every morning and before they go home. Fifth, the employee ID system. So to give the company best performance, it can be open to the employee to give any good idea to increase the production and production benefit, production downtime, how to reduce production downtime to give the company profit better. The sixth, error quantification. So it will be important to get the zero error that will be cause problem into the company and the production. So if the production gets zero error, the production will run smoothly and the company also will get the best achievement. The seventh, fixed cost analysis. To get the fixed profit, we must first get the fixed cost of the material. So if we already get the fixed cost of material, we can plan how much the budget to get the material monthly, and then we can calculate also the profit monthly. Okay, that's we goes to the how increase the profit cost based on the production cost. Okay, this paper I will focus in the three items that I already implement in my last Japanese oil seal manufacturing in Batam. So the first item is direct material cost. We must to reduce the direct material cost. Why? We can get a better profit by reduce the material cost. So the direct labor cost. For the direct labor cost, if we can reduce and goes into automation system, it will reduce the using of labor cost every month and every year. So that's why many of manufacturing company already implement the automation to reduce the labor cost. The third, manufacturing and factory overheads. So overall, the manufacturing must get profit to keep run the production and the company itself. So by the company overhead, so we must know how much the budget, how much the expense, how much the profit itself. Okay. Now that I talked before, there is the three items that can be lower the company cost. Okay, the first thing is we can replace the lamp from TL to LED lamp. Many of the manufacturing and also the building in many major area in Indonesia, also in the world, already replaced the usage of the TL lamp into the LED lamp. Why? Because the LED lamp power cost very low and the brightness also brighter than the TLM. The second item, we can reduce the spare part of the brake of trimming machine. In the oil seal manufacturing, there is a machine of trimming that cut the trim oil seal after the molding process. So this trimming machine using a motor taco that can circling the oil seal for the cutting process. So how about the brake of the motor is already loose, so the cutting of the oil seal will be not good, so the item become empty. So if we buy one set of the taco motor, it costs quite expensive. It costs around 300 Singapore dollar per taco motor. So if we calculate the whole year's expense, it quite high expense. So maintenance department already planned and already found a way to reduce the cost. We can modify the brake of trimming machine using the cast iron. We can fabricate the cast iron into the loose trimming machine brake. Okay, the third item is reduce the machine electricity consumption. In this item, I focus in the molding machine that need a high power for the heater to preheat process. So molding machine need a preheating process to heating the molding to can be compatible with the temperature of the oil seal and the rubber itself. So the molding machine need 30 minutes of the preheating process. So if we use the 3 heater, that power was around 200 watt, that will be high consumption of power per day. So we can modify and reduce the time of the preheat process by give the best insulation of the machine, so can be achieve the faster of the preheating process. Okay, now we go to the calculation. First, we will talk about the calculation of the molding machine that already give the insulation. Here, we already modified the majority of the molding machine with the asbestos. We know asbestos is one of the best insulation material in the world. So we give the asbestos around of the molding area in the molding machine, so it can be keep the heat inside the molding area, so it can be lower the time for the preheating the molding process. So we can see here, before we give the insulation, it costs around 3,800 kilowatt. It's come from the 2.16 kilowatt that came from the 3 equal 120 watt of the heater usage, equal 30 minutes of the preheating process plus 1 minute the cooling down process, and equal 16 of the per week per day running production hour, equal the 22 days running production hour, running production day per month. This the nominal of the consumption of one molding machine for the preheating process before we give insulation. So how about after we give the additional insulation, asbestos? So we get here reduce around 1,000 kilowatt per machine. So this we get the nominal of the 2,851 kilowatt that came from the 2.16 kilowatt that came from the 120 watt equal 3. This 3 liter equal 22.5 minutes that reduce after we give the insulation. Preheating time plus 1 minute the cooling down equal 16 hour per day running production hour equal 22 days running production per month. Okay, next we go to the cost for the spare part of the trimming machine. So before we modify the trimming brake by fabricate, it costs around 303 Singapore dollar per piece. That's a whole set of the tacho motor, include the brake. So after we can fabricate a brake using the gas iron, it only costs around 50 Singapore dollar per piece of brake. So we can find the saving cost of the tacho motor brake around 253 Singapore dollar. So we have 19 trimming machine in our company. So it can be get around 15 equal 250. So it's get 4,750 Singapore dollar. So this nominal is quite amount of the saving cost for the trimming machine brake. So next we goes to the saving power consumption by replacing the tubular lamp TLM to the LED lamp. That very get of the saving cost also. Here we can see the 2,816 kilowatt that came from 0.02. This came from the difference from the watt from the TL and LED equal 2,200. This quantity of the lamp that used in the company last time equal 16 hour running production per day equal 22 days running production per month. Okay, so we go to the table of the plant saving per month. So this we can see the plant saving of the repair cost of brake trimming. We can see the 5 units that's still running in the production. So per month we can get around 750 Singapore dollar. That will be accumulated until per years. It will become 57,000 Singapore dollar. Okay, now here the table of the replacement of TLM into the LED. So we partially replace the TLM into the LED per month. Per month last time we replaced 200. That will be accumulated until the 2,400 piece that using in the company last time. So how about the consumption of the power? We can be saved around 563 kilowatts, in the Singapore dollar, that per month. That will be accumulated until per years. That will become 6,758 Singapore dollar. So this quit of nominal of reduction cost. So this is the last one. This is the reduction cost of the insulation heat of molding machine. So we already implement it for the 5 machine that's running. We can save 2,851 kilowatt per hour. So that will be accumulate in the Singapore dollar become the 6,843 Singapore dollar. So if we combine into the one report per month, it reduced significant in the managerial report. As last time I also handle in the maintenance department. We can see here nominal of the electricity consumption is reduced around 4,000 kilowatts per month. Yeah, this nominal is equal 1,000. So we see also the BIC. BIC means the Batamindo Industrial Company. This also reduce around 20 more of 23,000 kilowatt hour per month. So what's the conclusion? The reducing time for the preheating temperature during the process molding installation machine obtained less than 30 minutes. It is provided as much as 570 Singapore dollar per month. The second thing, the saving cost of replacement of the tubular light to the LED for the factory, we got reducing of the power saving of 2.28 kilowatt or approximately 563 Singapore dollar per month. 3. From the drilling machine we can saving 5,750 Singapore dollar per month. So if we combine and calculate from 3 items only, we can reducing cost for the saving of the electricity and the spare part consumption costs around 5,856 Singapore dollar per month. And the reduction of the electricity bill approximately 2,000 kilowatt hour every month. 6. It is found that the profit around Singapore dollar 5,000 Singapore dollars. So we found the total profit around 9,856 Singapore dollar per month. So will be accumulated into the 118,272 Singapore dollar per year. Okay, this very quick of nominal reduction cost. And for information, it's one, the NOK total cost down awards in the 2013 in Thailand. Okay, that's my presentation. Thank you for your attention. See you.